What's up, guys? Welcome back to the MontyVerse. Today we're going to be reacting to She-Hulk Episode 3, The People vs. Emil Blonsky. And joining me as always for these reactions is Nikki. What's up, Nikki?
Not too much. How about you?
Nothing much. You know, at this time we usually preamble a little bit about the episode, but I want to take this time to address a special someone. As some of you may know, I had a birthday on Monday, and I'm not really a big birthday guy. I lost both of my parents last year, and this one was especially hard for me, but my nephew, JP, John Paul, he went out of his way to get me one of the best presents I ever got. He knew that this one was a tough one for me, and he searched multiple comic book shops to find me something that he said he wanted me to use on my set for these videos. And I just want to give him a special shout out. What he did get me was a graded copy of the Savage She-Hulk #1, which, as some of you may know from my video, is the first appearance of the She-Hulk. So it's a very cool gift. I know we shouldn't put too much stock in material possessions, but this gift was one that came from the heart, and there was a lot of meaning, thought, and love put into this. And I just wanted to say thank you, JP, and give you a big shout out. I really do appreciate the present. But let's jump in this episode, because I want to watch some more She-Hulk.
Same here. Let's get into it.
Let's do it. I don't think I'll ever not like this.
Not like the
fanfare.
Oh, of course not. It's iconic.
Seems like a really poor use of lasers.
Why you failed to mention that you not only escaped from prison, but you were also recorded doing so? This constitutes another crime and totally destroys your chances at parole?
What? No, because
Detect it.
a sorcerer supreme of the mystic arts, and his name is
Wong. Wong.
Yes.
That would be very hard to Google.
Lives in New York.
What is that, like a LinkedIn?
It's
Can you
generic
get to
social
him?
media.
Yes,
Yeah.
Jen.
License-free
Oh,
social
sorry.
media.
I sent a thirst trap. It was a picture of me with a bunch of books.
That could be sexy.
Now, if Blonsky's telling the truth, this guy busted him out of his prison cell and probably ruined my entire case. I know you can't wait to see Wong. I get it. I just want to
Driving?
make sure that you don't think this is one of those cameo every week type of shows. It's not. Well, except Bruce. And Blonsky. And Wong. Just remember whose show this actually is.
Yeah, it's Wong's show now.
The
channel.
statuesque green lawyer has been
Is that real?
plagued by public
No.
backlash. With
At least
many
as far as I know.
qualifications.
The big green woman, la gran mujer verde, se ha convertido en tendencia.
But then they
Oh,
gave
God.
it to a woman?
Oh no, I can hear the thumbnails being made as we speak.
I know,
No
it's
problem
like
with
the
female
reflection
heroes.
of
I'm
the
just
worst
saying,
part of
make
the
your own. I don't know
audience.
about y'all, but I'd smash.
Oh God, it's the mega
Ew.
Dennis!
No, what? Not Jen Walters.
Know what this is about and not work on it.
douche.
You wanted to see me?
Yes,
Renee!
my book.
Happy to not be involved.
I agree with her.
lawyer.
The girlfriend in question is a shape-shifting light elf from New Asgard.
Wow, Dennis.
Okay, well, to be fair, I thought I was dating Megan Thee Stallion.
Multiple Grammy Award winner megastar Megan Thee Stallion.
What part of shapeshifter did you not get? You see, this is why I don't want Walters.
This has to be the episode she appears in, right?
I would,
Twitter.
if not, that's a bad name.
your message.
It don't matter.
Mr.
'cause
Wong.
Wong is here.
Great entrance. Good luck.
This is not the
Dennis?
MCU. It's not the MCU. It's the Wong Cinematic Universe, and I'm here for
Everything
it.
Mr.
I am
Blonsky told
too.
you is fact. Not erasing everyone's memories, not again.
That's not what I was thinking. It's highly
Again?
unethical.
Yeah, it's also very messy, believe me.
Okay.
We'll send him to the mirror dimension.
I don't know what that is, but no.
Shadow dimension?
What you can't.
Shadow
Welcome,
Dimension
Wizard,
and
Sorcery
Shadow
for
Realm.
Strategy B.
Don't tap your.
Did you spend on the Megan Thee Stallion imposter?
I love the he acknowledged
How
turning
about
the
I just say a
games
number?
for product
Tell me
placement
higher or
Oh
lower,
my
of the Red
okay?
Bull.
200.
200,000? I am not a fool. No, it's more like 175.
I mean, you
This
are,
guy's
such
you are a
an
fool.
asshole.
That's a whole house in parts of the country, Mr. Bukowski.
Maybe not anymore. Oh, look, more fake social media, by the way.
What's up, bro? How's it hanging, man? And now I got a story
That
to
is
tell.
100% the elf. course, this guy drives a soccer truck.
I love harassing women in the workplace. It's my kick, baby.
Oh my god.
Let that be a warning.
I don't.
To not sue her?
You guys know me.
I love Josh Segura. He's so good.
Are those your soulmates?
Oh, yeah.
Whoa, it's the Thunderbolts! Whoa!
I don't understand how a guy
joking,
with zero
guys.
commute time is
No.
late.
I have changed emotionally, physically, metaphysically, spiritually, karmically, cosmically, interdimensionally.
Etc. What Mr. Blonsky is currently in a long-term committed relationship with several pen pals, all of whom have pledged to financially support him.
Blair, Ruth, Martha, Sheila, Alejandra, Yvonne, and Nicolette are my soulmates. They are my better eights.
I appreciate the math.
Just so stupid, I love.
Save you from a bad marriage.
That's it, Carl. Let it flow.
Now the library is more than just a quiet place to shift someone.
Instead of toilet wine.
I love you so much.
Yeah. Okay, we're done with Carl.
My apologies, Miss Walters. Emil.
Ah, finally!
I lost track of time.
Excuse me, Your Honor, but Asgard is not a place. It is a people.
Thor's inspirational speeches are not admissible in court.
Your Honor, this case is very cut and dry. My client...
In role play.
Oh, gross.
No rational adult would have believed my
It's not gross.
client's texts
People
were
have
from the real
preferences.
Megan Thee Stallion.
King Shane.
Mr. Bukowski knew he was dating Miss Runa and went along with it until it no longer suited him.
I did not.
This was a relationship gone bad.
To
I
dismiss.
mean, if she can shapeshift,
denied.
is it that insane?
In light of some new information I've just received, I'm changing my ruling.
Come on, Runa. This is getting a little broad.
What?
She is very
This is very
stupid.
good for us.
Just running into the judges.
In regard to Mr.
I love their varied reactions.
Oh, Abomination looks so good. I meant design-wise. I love this so much better than the Incredible Hulk design.
We will adjourn for today and consider all of the facts. We will reconvene once a decision has been reached. And please, let's get this man some clothes.
Oh, yeah.
Just one. The Sorcerer Supreme, master of the mystic arts, leader and former librarian of Kamantaj.
Yeah. But just
You
Wong.
realize that you've just admitted to facilitating a prisoner escape, which is a crime.
I must depart.
That's so wrong.
Turning truth to the rumors you got your powers from a mafia hit gone wrong?
Boom. That's her comic origin.
Oh my God, you're pregnant with the Abomination's baby, and you're flaunting a little baby.
That's your father.
Yeah.
God, Dennis Bukowski.
Oh, yeah, no, you're gonna need that.
Connecting the A and B story? Nice.
How did you two work with him for so long?
The man is almost terminally deluded.
I'd call him gross.
Yeah.
Best option. I gave you a whole list of my boys. Jenna's gonna help us clinch this. Trust me.
Self-absorbed, chauvinistic, conceited. He once described himself as a New York 10 and an LA 11.
Whoa.
He nicknamed his office the Denisphere.
Objection. Relevance.
Mr. Bukowski.
Dennis Bukowski is an almost pathologically entitled man. He would absolutely believe that he's dating the real Megan Thee Stallion because he is truly that
I
delusional.
just love the joy she's getting.
No further questions, Your Honor.
In addition, we also sentenced the defendant to 60 days for impersonating a judge.
No, nine.
That's right. There's only one Megan Thee Stallion.
What?
Hey, do you guys think I have a shot with the real Megan Thee Stallion? Should I go back?
Random, but I
please
loved
don't
it.
do that.
Oh my
Thanks for
god.
the testimony in there, Jen.
Oh, did Dennis Bukowski just give me an idea? That will stay between us.
As a condition of his parole, Mr. Blonsky is prohibited from turning into Abomination indefinitely. and is ordered to wear an inhibitor in perpetuity.
The Abomination is now a free man, and here with us in the studio, the lawyer responsible for his release, She-Hulk.
Yeah, my name's Jennifer Walters, not She-Hulk, and my client's name is Emil Blonsky, not the Abomination.
Got it. The high-profile name She-Hulk.
Oh, funny story, I didn't. Some random guy on the news came up with it after thinking about it for like 2 seconds, but it stuck. So now whether I like it or not, I am forever She-Hulk.
Great. We have to take a break.
Compelling
when we
news
come
story.
back, She-Hulk shares her diet and exercise secrets.
I'm sorry.
I love the swerve there. I love it. Oh, so we're getting the Wrecking Crew already.
I got her!
This is the Wrecking Crew from Marvel Comics.
Oh, wait. Get off me.
If you're gonna strut around showing off your powers, you better be able to back it up.
When did I ever strut around and show off my powers? Did you guys rob an Asgardian construction worker?
Yeah.
Alright, let's do this.
Oh god. You know, in the comics, the Wrecking Crew, all 4 of them were at least able to go toe-to-toe with Thor, but I guess they're kind of mid.
I was gonna say, they're pretty lame right now.
Oh. Oh god. How is that not a broken
I was gonna say,
spine?
that cracked so...
Thunderball, did you get it?
No. Once you turned into She-Hulk, I couldn't pierce that nasty green skin. Damn it!
Boss gonna be mad.
So someone who wants her blood.
It's all about the blood. And who's the boss? Okay, so now we're building to something. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that last scene definitely, it continues to do what this show does so well, and it portrays real female issues through the lens of this comic book show.
Mm-hmm.
Like Jen being jumped in a dark alley by 4 men who then tell her that she was walking around flaunting it, so she should be ready to like fight. And just like, it's such a smart way to create a perspective.
It is, and actually it's funny because I mean, there's, I'm sure, a plethora of comments like this, but I read one in particular of someone complaining how in the first episode, like, oh, she just tells the audience her problems, like, but we don't see it proven, where, first of all, we don't need to see it, I can believe it easily, but second of all, that was just, like you said, a good portrayal.
I like that.
A good portrayal of it.
Listen, that dialogue in the first episode, I didn't mind, because I'm a man. I grew up in a house like dominated by men. I had a dad, brother, and myself, and just my mom was the only woman in the household. So it's men should have that dialogue in their head. They should try and be empathetic of women, because we have very different experiences than you guys do.
Right, and again, it's another case where it's like, don't just immediately jump to questioning it. Like, consider that this is an experience of another person. And that's even regardless of gender. That's just, again, like you said, it's an issue of empathy.
Megan Thee Stallion.
Special guest star.
Wong.
Renee. I want more Renee. I want to see what's going to happen with her now. I'm sure
Mallory Book is definitely going to be featured heavily, I'm assuming, based off of the fact that she is a comic book character.
I hope she sings, but I'm sure that won't happen.
Hey, there's my new favorite client. Just your signature there. And then just an initial. Good. And in.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
He almost tasted that. Num, eat it up. Go play okay, 3, 2, 1. You know I'm the hottest. You ain't never gotta heat me up.
Oh my God.
You
are way more fun than my last lawyer. I will kill for you, Megan Thee Stallion. Dollar back.
Alright. Oh my god. This show has some amazing post-credit scenes.
I like that they have as many as they do.
Oh my god. I think we just saw the birth of a meme.
Oh, yeah.
I think I just witnessed the birth of a new meme.
Yeah, like I'm sure that's a huge part of what's going to be part of the discourse of this episode.
God, that's so good. That's so perfect for this show.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to like epitomize the tone of this show, and I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, so stupid, so funny. Okay, the first thing that jumped out at me, because I know that this, like honestly, this is going to be the main discourse of this episode. It's going to be the Megan Thee Stallion stands and the anti-woke culture people coming at this episode for a lot of things. Some things I have heard, like on Twitter, you know, all the regular places where people who are way too sensitive talk about things that make them feel insecure. The discourse was that the show is focusing too much on the toxicity of men, and that it portrays all men as negative and bad and just like sexist people, but it really doesn't do that. The show is calling out the toxic male audience, the MCU people, if you will. It's calling them out, and it's bringing them into the light, and it's showing you that people like this, literally things in the show, have been said by people word for word.
I was gonna say, like, that section where they're scrolling through the negative comments she was receiving, like, one of them was literally like, I think, I don't know if I read it correctly, but something like, we don't need female heroes, or there was a lot of stuff.
One guy said, you took the Hulk's manhood and you gave it to a woman.
Which, that's stuff that's
so stupid.
They probably could have ripped that, like, straight from existing comments on the internet.
Yeah, but the thing, I just want to finish my thought. It's not that the show is focusing on portraying all men in a negative light. It's focused on putting these toxic people into the light, but it's also balancing that with some really good male characters. Just in the first 3 episodes alone, you have Bruce Banner, Wong, Augustus Pugliese, aka Pug, and you have Jen's dad. All 4 really great guys. Nice, caring, empathetic, like just good all-around guys. So for anyone saying this show has an anti-male agenda, unfortunately you're wrong. You're seeing something maybe in yourself that you should take a look at, because it's just your own insecurities talking. The show is just choosing to preemptively like show the discourse that would surround the show.
And again, like, that's just the way that a lot of guys, and you know what, I will say, people in general act in real life.
Yeah.
It's not like, again,
those people exist. Those people who, you know, grew up in The Boys, you know, like Bukowski over there, Dennis Bukowski, who is a character from the comics, by the way. And he is just as big a prick in the comics as he is in the show.
That's all I could think is, like, if they created him just for this. Or...
Well, they definitely, he's a very minor character. He is an assistant district attorney in the comics, but he's a prick. So they definitely looked for people that Jen have faced in court throughout her comic book career, and they kind of used a lot of side characters.
What a way to incorporate him into this episode, because part of me was thinking after the last one, where he has the small interaction with Jen after she's left the DA's office. It's like, okay, bye, asshole, but
yeah,
he's back with a bench.
It's so good, and Jen's just having the time of her life, just shitting on this guy, and I love it. I'm here for the pettiness. I love it. The show continues to do something that I wish all Marvel shows would do. It continues to take the MCU and address the broader aspect of it in small doses, but in doing that, expands the universe a lot, because it introduces us to the light elves from Asgardian culture.
Yes, that's all I could think is, like, is that an actual aspect of Asgard, like that species?
Yeah, well, you have the dark elves, and then you have the light elves. The dark elves, I believe, are from Niflheim. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not very good with the 9 realms, besides Midgard and Asgard. But I believe the light elves are from Alfheim, and it's one of the top 3 sections of the World Tree. Again, my Norse experts in the comments, please correct me if I'm wrong. But they are essentially portrayed as good guys in the comics. You know, the light counterpart to the dark elves. I guess one way to describe them would be very much in line with elves from other fantasy series, like Lord of the Rings and stuff like that. But yeah, I really love that. I love that part of the show. I liked this episode more than any of the others felt like this is what the show is. This episode felt like it was an episode of television. It felt like it was more so than any of the other Disney Plus series. This really felt like this episode showed that this show was written as a TV show, and it felt like a TV show. The fourth wall breaking is great.
I was gonna say, it felt very episodic in that yes, it continued plot threads from the previous one, but it was also contained in that I was shocked with how quickly they wrapped up the case. It was just within the episode. It had a B plot, as Jen kindly broke to us.
Yeah.
And it weaved it in a way that felt like it fit with it. And sure, it left on a cliffhanger that kind of tied it back to the action and to the kind of stuff she has to deal with, even though she doesn't call herself a superhero, but as someone who is a superpowered being. So I think I completely agree with that vibe you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, this show, the Jessica Gao said that, you know, they're not going to focus on the legal stuff. And if they do focus on the legal stuff, it's going to be fun and funny. And this is what we got this episode. And I really like that. I don't need the entire series to take place in a courtroom.
Mhm.
This is not that kind of show. It's not the kind of show that we were advertised as getting. So I really don't need that. And I'm sure the legal experts are going to rip this show up because of how fast it portrays the legal proceedings of trial law. But I really don't care. It's fun. I like that they kind of focus Jen's arc these past 2 episodes on Blonsky, but then they used Pug to like really show off the fun like aspects of what we can do with superhuman law in this series and what we probably will be doing with it going forward with this case, which was so fun. And it's just so wacky and zany. It reminded me of the comic. It reminded me of comic books in general, like really self-referential like comedy comics. So I really love that part.
If we're going to talk about aspects of the trial that were hilarious, we have to talk about the 7 soulmates.
Oh my god. Yeah, you mean the Thunderbolts? The Thunderbolts, yeah. Listen, it's just so silly and I love it. I love it's such a new this is such a it feels so different from Miss Marvel, and Miss Marvel felt so different from Moon Knight. I love the palette cleansing and changing of the genres that these shows are giving. And you know what? I'm so excited to watch this show every Thursday because it's so silly and it's so like I just have really a fun time watching it. I laugh super hard, as you guys can see. Like this is the first time I watch this. I'm laughing my ass off throughout the episode. I'm just really having fun with it.
And I think the pacing is incredibly good with this because, like, I know the episodes are short, but they always feel like they fly by, and I'm always kind of surprised once they come to the end, especially where part of it is where they choose to end them, but it's just like, oh shoot, like that's it. I was like, because at no point did I ever feel like it was ever overly slow or I wasn't enjoying or interested in what was going on screen. Because even though you're talking about how you wouldn't necessarily want it to take place in a courtroom the whole time, whatever they are showing, I'm still engaged with.
Yeah, if anything, I would say that the pacing's a little off in the sense that it's moving too fast. Because I think that there are very noticeable cuts in all the episodes. Jessica Gao said they had to cut out a lot of stuff after everything was filmed due to budget constraints and due to the fact that they couldn't animate as much She-Hulk as they wanted, so they had to substitute She-Hulk scenes for Jennifer Walters scenes. And I think it shows a lot. I mean, the Megan Thee Stallion stuff obviously felt like it was shot separately from everything else, and maybe they got Tatiana to come in to do that post-credit scene after the fact. But you know, but again, it's stuff that I really don't care about. It's nitpicky stuff that I have to mention, but I do not give a shit about. I love this show so much. I just wish I could watch the whole thing. This is such a bingeable show. Like I feel like after all 9 episodes are out, I could probably tear through this thing again immediately.
Oh, easily, because I mean, I've watched the other episodes multiple times at this point too. So
yeah,
I'm definitely gonna be doing it with this one today.
It's so fun, and we're finally starting to get kind of a story building. We got essentially this is being done in thirds. It's a 9 episode season. We're a third of the way done with the season.
Right, and they kind of already. I mean, I'm sure we're gonna see Blonsky again. I don't know in what capacity, but in a way it feels like they tied the bow on that a little bit. So now they can proceed with a new third of it.
Yeah, I mean, the first third was essentially our introduction. This is the show. This is the character. This is all of the origin stuff.
Right.
Boom. That was her origin story. First 3 episodes done. I would love to see if the next 3 kind of does a mini arc on its own, and then it kind of does the last 3 as a mini arc, or if the next 6 play like a one big arc, because we do get some intrigue with the introduction of the MCU Wrecking Crew.
That's literally what they're called.
Yeah, they're called the Wrecking Crew. And if I could talk comics, if I can talk shop for a second, the Wrecking Crew are Thor villains, they were created, their first appearance was in a Thor comic. I know Steve Buscema was the artist who created them. I don't remember who the writer was, but it might be Walt Simonson. Don't, if I'm wrong, please correct me in the comments, or I will correct myself here. But they were created, and essentially, they are as they are in the show. They are led by the Wrecker, who's the guy with the crowbar, and he was a criminal who was given an enchanted Asgardian crowbar, and he gave enchanted construction equipment to 3 other people, and they became the Wrecking Crew. You have the Wrecker, you have Pile Driver, Bulldozer, and Thunderball. Thunderball being the guy with the wrecking pole, and it's really cool to see them in the show. But they did kind of get swept by She-Hulk pretty easily, which was a little bit of a bummer, because if we are introducing the Wrecking Crew, I kind of do want to see them be somewhat formidable, but maybe they get some enhancements throughout the season. We don't know that. Maybe, since we are focusing a lot on Hulk blood,
Yeah.
which I think we should talk about, because we'll talk about that in our theories.
I was gonna say, there's no way that they portray them and then immediately follow them with them regrouping in their van, talking about their boss, and then not have them come back and do more.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, it seems almost like the classic bait and switch, where you have like, oh, the comic book fans are gonna be like, oh, that's the Wrecking Crew, boo, and then it's kind of like, oh, don't worry, we got some more stuff coming.
Yeah, there's a whole 6 episodes left.
Yeah, and before we talk about our theories, because I do have a lot of thoughts on what a lot of this means for the future of the show, I do want to just talk one thing that I'm just thinking of things as we go. One thing that I really enjoyed was kind of like the build-up of, oh, you have to address this, Jen. You have to tell your side of the story. You know, you have to take control of the narrative. And then when she finally does, like, you think it's gonna be like traditional superhero, like when Superman gets interviewed by Lois Lane, and it's like, hey, my name is Kal-El from Krypton. It's just like, yeah, you know, I never named myself. She starts to tell this origin story, and I love the, oh, someone named me She-Hulk after thinking about it for like 2 seconds, and now I'm known as She-Hulk forever, which is essentially how Marvel Comics created She-Hulk, because she was created in response to the rights issue from the Incredible Hulk TV series, because Marvel wanted to own the rights to a female Hulk character because they wanted to spin it off. So they essentially created She-Hulk in like 3 seconds. So that was a reference to that. But I also love how that immediately turns into, and then when we come back, She-Hulk tells us her diet and exercise regimen. She's like, what?
I know. Way to prep the guests in advance.
But it's just like, it's just, the show is so good at the swerve.
Yes.
The like, oh, we're gonna do this in the traditional comic book sense. Psych, we're just this is how it would happen in real life, probably. Like, you'd probably go on the news to like tell your origin, and then like, all right, yeah, no one cares.
No one doesn't care about that.
So I thought that was fun. And oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, one thing I don't think we really talked about yet is the cameo in today's episode that she very eloquently put for us.
Wong.
Not Mr. Wong.
Wong supremacy. Wong, the Phase Wong, as I'm calling this phase, not Phase 4, this is Phase Wong, is in full effect. I love Wong as a character. I don't think I will ever get tired of seeing Benedict Wong being Wong. I love how he carries himself with such like purpose. Like, I'm the Sorcerer Supreme. I needed to challenge him. Like, he talks like so authoritatively and with such gravitas. And then when they're like, hey, Mr. Wong, by the way, you just admitted to, you know, helping a criminal escape from prison. He's like, I gotta go. And then he's just out. And I'm like, that's so Wong.
It is. But it was a blast seeing him. I love, because I'm a huge fan of the first Doctor Strange, and he was amazing in that. And I kind of like this weird evolution he's had as a character, where he's always remains stoic, very serious to the point, very dedicated to what he does. But like, he's also in his own weird way, like, livened up a teensy bit more and more, and but still maintaining that straight-laced persona he has.
This is why I love the MCU. This is why I will always love the MCU. It does such a great job of taking elements from the comic books, because Wong is a character from the comic books, but Wong is a servant of Strange in the comic books, and it's a very troublesome character and troublesome portrayal, and they spin it into something so amazing in the MCU, and they get such a tremendous talent like Benedict Wong to portray the character, and he just transforms it into a role that he fully owns, like Downey owns Iron Man.
I have to wonder if he thought at one point in his life, I will be best known as Wong.
Yes, when he was born. When he was born, he was like, I am Wong. I will always be Wong. But yes, I mean, what else can we say about Benedict Wong besides he's amazing and he's awesome? And I would watch Wong in everything. I want Wong in the Wonder Man. I want Wong in Fantastic Four. Give me Wong even just in the background eating like a roast beef sandwich. Give me Wong. Give me all the Wong.
And I think it's fair to say he probably will show up again in the show.
Yeah.
At some point.
Yeah, because we see he's gonna go to. I think in the trailers we see him go to Jen for help. Like she reaches out to him first, and then he's gonna come back and reach out to her probably, and that's gonna lead us into that circus stuff that we see him with Johnny Blaze. Yeah, you guys were really right about that one. Good job, internet. Glad I didn't jump on that trend. But anyway, yeah, I don't think we've seen the last of Wong. I don't think we've seen the last of Abomination. I hope not, because Tim Roth is absolutely killing it.
Because even now that I was trying to think of how if he could come back at all, and I was thinking about the trailers and the promotional material. There is a place that she goes to that looks like it's out in the countryside.
Yeah, his retreat.
So now it's like, shoot, we do get to see him again.
Yeah.
Possibly. I don't know yet, but I like the possibility.
I really do hope we see him again, but I think we will.
With his 7 soulmates.
With his 7 soulmates. aka the Thunderbolts. Let's talk theories.
Which I will mostly defer to you. My main comment though and observation is, and you touched on it earlier with the blood. We made a big deal in the first episode about how Bruce really emphasized the importance of not having their blood get into the wrong hands.
And they just happen to freeze frame on the incinerator as they hold that shot for a couple
long
of seconds.
time. Just so that we can see very clearly them being absolutely destroyed. And they mentioned again today when the one guy from the wrecking crew complains about not being able to pierce her skin. So I wonder what that's going to lead to.
I do wonder what that's going to lead to. Honestly, the more I think about it, and as I'm talking it out loud, I do think we may have a huge, I think this show is going to build to a huge battle at the end with because Titania has to come back.
Yes.
We have not seen the last of Titania. I think we're gonna have a huge battle with Titania, the Wrecking Crew, and I think the Wrecking Crew maybe in the finale, maybe before then, are gonna get some Hulk blood, She-Hulk blood, and that's when they're gonna be their big beefy comic book selves that we recognize from the comic books. I think they're gonna fight. I think Hulk's gonna be back. It's gonna be She-Hulk and Abomination and Hulk taking down these guys. But I don't know. I may be thinking too big. I'm kind of hoping there.
I mean, I was gonna say I know that was to a lot of people a negative about WandaVision. It culminated in a big battle that seemed a little bit off from the show. So I think that's very possible.
I don't think that's what people's problems were. I think people's problems were the pacing a little bit because it kind of comes out of nowhere. But I think this show is definitely starting to put the pieces together, starting to let you know this is where things might end up. In terms of the boss, I have really 2 main theories right now. I mean, we could say anyone. We could say Victor Von Doom. I don't think it's Dr. Doom. In reality, for this show, I think it's one of 2 people, and I think it's potentially Val or Holden Holloway. Mainly, I'm thinking it's Holden Holloway. In the comics, the character of Holden Holloway has a superpowered granddaughter, who is essentially the entire reason for him hiring Jen in the first place, which we find out kind of in the middle of the run. And I don't know if she was born with powers, but I know she has this enchanted weapon, this claw type weapon on her arm, and I can't remember the name of the character off the top of my head. There's a lot going on in here, guys. So I will definitely put the name of the character here, or while I'm editing, or right here, the name of the character. But I'm really curious to know if because he's been portrayed pretty neutral at this point.
Yeah, all things considered, he has the trappings of being another one of these toxic men who are portraying the series. And so far, all things considered, he's been pretty neutral and kind of just run of the mill. Hey, here's how it is, Jen.
Yeah, but in my mind, I'm thinking that he may need Jen's instead of the granddaughter having superpowers. Maybe she does, maybe she doesn't. But he needs Jen's blood to help her somehow. Maybe she's sick, and maybe he needs the Hulk's healing capabilities or regenerative capabilities in the blood to help his sick granddaughter. I think there's going to be some kind of swerve there. I think he may be involved. Maybe he's working under. Maybe that's the big reveal in the post-credit stinger of that he's working for Val. Because again, we have to build we have to start building the Thunderbolts at some point, you know, and you have to imagine that Abomination's going to be there.
Right.
The question is Abomination really reformed or not? I think this episode kind of really pushes the fact that he may actually be reformed and he may actually change, which brings an interesting dynamic to the Thunderbolts if you ever do it, because Abomination may be the moral center of the team, which I think is a really cool thing to do if they do end up doing that in the movie. Having, you know, out of all of the people, taking the Emil Blonsky from the Incredible Hulk and then turning him into this guy, and then having this guy be the heart and soul of a Thunderbolts team, I think it's a really cool idea the more I think about it. So, I don't know. I think we could do that. So Val's definitely in contention, but I think to make the show feel more complete, I think it has to be Holden Holloway. I think he has to be involved somehow. Unfortunately, sorry guys if you like Holden Holloway spoilers.
I was gonna say, you don't think that would be almost too cliche of a route for them to go at this point, or that there could be just someone that comes out of the woodwork that we haven't even seen yet?
I think that would be more cliche. I think having it connect all the way back, having it, like, you know, the guy that brings her in is the guy who she's been using her the entire time, and then she kind of established, and then that's because I'm assuming the next couple of episodes are going to focus on her identity and you know, her addressing the insecurities that she has, and maybe she takes that and she becomes an even better, stronger person because she's like, you know what, I don't need you, I don't need any of this, I'm gonna go be my own She-Hulk attorney at law. Season 2.
Ooh, I mean, that's a good point because we have yet to see a season 2 from any of the shows. We know Loki is on the way, but
filming.
I think that's a great point. The show, at least from what we've gotten so far, it feels like episodic enough to where it justifies having a season 2 and not just ending wherever it does.
Yeah, but you know, I have a lot of theories. I'm gonna process a lot of this information, guys. It's we wake up early to do these, so I try and be as focused as possible. But sometimes I need to rattle on some stuff for a while. But that's really my main theory. I think Holden's involved if he's not the main antagonist. I don't think he's a fully bad guy, but I think he may be working with Titania,
right,
and the Wrecking Crew.
He's gonna be an example of another MCU villain who, again, he has maybe he has the granddaughter or something else he's working towards that's a little bit outside of himself. But
I mean, who has access to Asgard? Like, it's weird because Titania. If Titania shows up again, he's had access to Titania because he was in the courtroom with her. If you know, the Wrecking Crew has enchanted Asgardian weapons, it looks like Runo was in the offices of GLK&H. So it's like,
and who knows what the hell else should be in there.
Like who knows what else is going to show up. And listen, it's a working theory. But I think it's a good one so far. But is there anything else on the show that you wanted to talk about?
Not honestly a whole lot. I thought this episode was honestly a blast, and
so much fun.
We went over it in depth at this point, but honestly, the vibe, it works for me. Again, I think you're still a little bit higher on it than I am.
I'm so high on the show.
I enjoy it tremendously, but I think you have a love for it that I want to feel at some point.
Oh, I'm getting so much joy watching this show. Like, if you guys can't see it in the reactions, I'm truly enjoying the show.
And even though we're only a third of the way into it, like, it's fair to say for you, this is a candidate for your favorite MCU show. Or the top.
I don't want to say that's very early. And again, it's hard to play favorites when you have so many shows coming up and that have came already that are all different things. WandaVision is so unique in everything that it does. It would be hard for any show to really compare to that. And then you have Miss Marvel, which is unique in its own way, and it's really has a special place in my heart because I really love that character. I really relate a lot to Kamala Khan. So I don't want to say anything definitive, is what I'm trying to say.
But you do love it so far.
I do love it. But yeah, that's me avoiding the question.
Totally fair. And you know what? I'll say this, and I've touched on it before, is I've had varying opinions about the shows. I'm sure a lot of people has, but I've at least found enjoyment in all of them in certain ways. And I would rather them all have kind of this variation of genres and just trying new things than the same thing I like over and over again.
Yeah, absolutely. Try new things. If the show's not for you, don't watch it. If you only want to watch the show for Daredevil, wait until Daredevil shows up. Like, you don't have to watch it. You don't have to feel this obligation to watch the series.
Right. And when he does show up, don't worry, you will find out about it on the internet very
Yeah,
easily.
you will know. Like, you will know. Don't worry. Just wait it out. You got 6 more weeks. Watch something else. Watch Game of Thrones. Watch House of the Dragon. Watch Lord of the Rings. Rings of Power. Watch Nathan for You. Watch The Rehearsal.
Oh, yes, definitely The Rehearsal.
Watch anything else. Just leave us alone.
Watch what you like.
Just let people enjoy the things they enjoy. That's it. Everyone should get to enjoy the things that they love. And no one should ruin things that people enjoy just for the sake of their own insecurities. It's not worth it, guys. And listen, we got to remember, 20 years ago, 10 years ago, 11 years ago, 12 years ago, comics were not cool. Comic book movies were a niche thing, and people were made fun of who liked comics. So everything has a time. You have to be accepting, and you have to be willing to like give yourself into new experiences.
Mm.
And that's our TED Talk for today. But I think that's going to be it for this episode of She-Hulk. Loved it. Very positive. High marks from me. Nikki, where can the people find you? Any final thoughts? Go.
I really enjoyed it. It won't happen, but I'd love it if Renee Lee Goldsberry gets to sing at some point.
Listen, in this show, it could definitely happen.
Regardless, very happy to have her. But anyway, I did enjoy it though, and I'm looking forward to seeing what the rest of the show has in store. And otherwise, you guys can find me at Twitter at EdLordNikki.
And you guys can find me here on the MontyVerse, at the MontyVerse, everywhere on the socials. Like us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, I don't know, in the drive-thru at your local McDonald's. Like us everywhere. Subscribe.
That's where all the Pokemon toys are now.
Exactly. If you liked the video, make sure to give it a huge thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Hit the notification bell because we have tons of videos coming out all the time on stuff. We got Power Rangers videos that we just did, Digimon, She-Hulk, MCU, Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones, maybe Metabots, who knows. We're just anything that we enjoy, we'll do a video on. So until next time, guys, stay versed.